From DCCelebrityExaminer.com, and we are here with none other than national and international documentarian. How do you say this word? Documentarianism or whatever.
Right.
I'm sorry, crowd, but I'm so excited tonight because I'm here with a person who almost deserves silence as we sit here with him. Now, give us a little bit about your history in terms of your filmmaking history, your book writing history. Give us an idea also, after you answer that question, how was this idea birthed and when did it come to you to do this film, Hoodwinked? Were you sleeping one night and you got up and just...
No. Hoodwinked is my sixth film. Hoodwinked is the sequel to the first film, What Black Men Think. What Black Men Think was based upon, it was inspired by a movie called Diary of a Tired Black Man, and that was done by Tim Alexander. And what I saw when I saw that film, I saw a black man who had been divorced from a black woman, who was sitting with her four friends, and he pulls up with a white woman. So I know it's a dramatic story, but when I look at it from the statistics, what is the probability that can occur? And what I understood at that juncture, and I've always known most of my life, is that the media takes the fray or maybe takes the headline and then pushes it out like it's what this means to be black. So what Hoodwinked and What Black Men Think kind of represent is my pushback. I have the evidence, the data, the facts, the stats to say this is what black is. It's not as dramatic as maybe some would hope, or the media might serve you up, but this is a reality check for Black America. It's critical at this juncture.
Okay, and it's so funny when you say that because it's almost as if we're doing some sort of twisted sort of program where we're creating, an opportunity to be special. And unfortunately, it's with the negative statistics.
That's right.
But I don't understand, honestly, where it all came from. We can talk about history, but we can also talk about how it's been proliferated. And I think with the same proliferation negative, here's some positive proliferation. And why isn't it sticking, you'd say?
I think what I've learned from my work is that, from my faith, that we are a broken, fallen, and sometimes messed up people. And not only talking about blacks, I'm talking about the world. And that our insatiable appetite for the depraved or the ability to look at something that is worse off than our own brokenness leads to our consumption of that depravity. So where does it come from a black paradigm? At this juncture, I wouldn't even care to explore. What I know right now is that, as I say in the film, we're at a tipping point in our history with where young black people are. They're phenomenally doing things education-wise, entrepreneurial-wise, education-wise,
yes.
And it's time for us to celebrate one another as opposed to deprecating one another.
Okay, so what is your long-term as an educator, your long-term goal, rather, as an educator?
The reason why I do this work, the books and the films, is not for today. What I realized a long time ago, 7, 8 years ago, I was reading the slave narratives, and I realized while I was reading that, even though it was someone transcribing an original language or original dialect of someone's experience, it was not in first person. What I wanted to do is say, like, look, 100 years from now, if someone wants to know what was going on with Black America, what did they look like, what were they thinking, what were they feeling, they say, you know what, you need to go get these films from this guy and watch what black people do. Regardless, if we ascend to greatness or if we fall into extinction, I don't know where it's going to be, but 100 years from now, someone can say, this is what was going on when Black America really had the potential to excel to this just phenomenal trajectory that the data and the evidence has shown.
Okay, next to the last question. What do your children think about this?
What do who?
Your children.
My children?
Yes. What do you think about you? I mean,
I'm dad. It's just dad.
Okay.
They see you on CNN. Look at that. Hey, come on! I'm going to be on Fox tonight. They're like, what's for dinner? So no, and I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, so they're too young to process. But my 13-year-old, she could care less. Except I hear when she's around her girlfriends. So I hear when she's around her girlfriend, my dad's on the radio. I was on radio the other day, and she's like, hey, my dad's on the radio, so they show up at school. Okay. So they'll get it one day. Hopefully they'll get it one day. So.
They'll get it. I got it.
That was the next to last, so this is the last.
This is the last question. So I have a suggestion in this question.
Ooh,
okay?
Suggestion.
Okay, so might you have a desire to establish a scholarship for journalism, but truth-based journalism, independence-based journalism, and I call it, I'm going to quote from someone in the film, crisis industry lacking crisis industry in terms of its source?
What I'm doing right now is I work with the charter school, and the legacy that I'm building, it's not just to teach people how to look at stuff. What I want to do is to try to teach kids how to think. Not to think like me, but how to, just how to process. How to be discerning on information, but then also to express that that clarity of truth through filmmaking. So when you say scholarship, that's more back into the academic space right now. I think because so much misinformation has been given out through this medium, it's time that we meet that medium with a more positive message. So I'm building the next wave of people that will be auteurs and creators of content, kind of based on this ideologue of there is good and bad to the black experience. If these people want to do the bad, there's enough room out here for some of us to show the good.
Well said.
We
thank you.
I'm bumbling and stumbling.
We thank you. We love you. Keep it up.
Good. What did you think there, Scott? What did you think of the movie?
It was great. It was great. I just hope that you get intense, it's extreme national exposure.
I appreciate it.
I mean, because, there's some things that I didn't even know that I now know through the film that some of my peers, if not all of my peers, my boys need to know. And they need to spread it to their boys and so on and so forth.
So that's the goal.
Almost biblical readings, honestly. You can't see it one time and expect a subconscious change.
No, it takes time. It takes time, but that's why I kind of say get the book and keep it going. You have to,
no question.
Because to continually feed yourself this stuff to kind of defeat all this other. So yes.
All right.
We ready?